Hi, I'm Gary, the Get Set Up Home Repair Guide. Today I'm going to talk about budget-friendly home improvement projects you could help out around your home for not a lot of money to make a difference. So first of all, let's talk about outside lighting. A lot of people don't realize that when we change from incandescent lighting over to LEDs. Now, there's a difference. Incandescent has filaments that will break over time and hence called burned out. LEDs, light emitting diodes, little square diodes that glow when electricity goes through them. They've improved them so much and got the cost down so low that now you probably can't find incandescent bulbs. But I want you to know this, an LED equivalent bulb is basically averaging 1/6 the price to operate as your normal incandescent you had. So if you changed all your bulbs in your house inside and out to LEDs, even the big spotlight ones there, if you change them all, your electric light bill will be 1/6 of what it was. And you won't have to change them very often. So when you look for these and you can see them, it'll give you a wattage. This one, they tell you equivalent to a 60-watt incandescent. I will share this with you. We normally buy incandescents by wattage. You know how bright a 60 is or a 100 watt. But that really means that's how much electricity they're using, wattage. So when they come out with LEDs, they can't sit there and say it's a 15 watt because you're going to think it's very small bulb not doing much. So the people selling them or making them are trying to put on there what it's equivalent to. So this bulb here is 60 watt light, puts out the same lumens as a 60 watt light. It's LED, but it's only using 8.5 watts. That's how much electricity, not 60. All right. Outside your house, you might try inexpensive solar lights. These will stay on, not all night unless they have a much bigger solar cell. These are just small ones here. LED in there, stake goes in the ground. That's all you have to do. They charge up in the sun. It will mark the pathway to show into your house. It also gives you, makes your house look of more value. It adds the, what do they call it, the sidewalk appeal of your home, especially in the evening, around plants and stuff like that. Now, that's the solar. Low voltage is much brighter. Low voltage is when you have a transformer and it drops the voltage down to about 12 volts. These are ones where you have to put a wire in the ground, you have a unit outside, but the best, brightest lighting you could put outside around there. It would shine up on your house, on trees, and whatever you'd like to do. You could check those out at your hardware store. Okay, now the next thing for the house, it's great improvement. When they do plumbing in your house, the plastic plumbing under the sink, the drain plumbing and stuff like that, it is made for the traps to come off in your hand. So you have the big knurled nuts there or tabs on them, and you can unscrew it, drop it down, get grandma's wedding ring out of the trap, or whatever you need. But the other thing that happens is when people start overloading the underneath their cabinets or hitting it, they bump that plastic and the joints start leaking, and you may not notice it. So the bottoms of cabinets a lot of times are made out of engineered wood or what we call particle board or something like that. Water will sit on them, they'll rot and go down, and you have to replace your cabinet. Not if you have a water detector. You can find these online. These are excellent. If water or drip comes around them or touches the metal anodes on the back, they sound off. Let me demonstrate just for a second. I'll drop it. This is a little water, 1/2 inch in the bottom. I put this in. There. You would hear that. And it goes off. Where I use these to save you money is at the bottom of where your hot water tank is. Hot water tank this typically may last 12 years. Then it starts leaking. And you have a problem. You put this down, the moment a drop gets in, hopefully you have a pan around the bottom of it. You just set that in the bottom. These will sell for $10 to $15 online. You get packs of 5 of them. I have one in my house under every sink drain, bathroom, behind the toilet, and even in the kitchen sink. We have no water damage. And we have had it go off, by the way. So, excellent. All right. I just want to reiterate, LEDs on any bulbs you buy, and they could get anything from a yellowish looking light to a white, bright white. It'll tell you that more comfortable resting light, much like you would have in a lamp in your living room. Whereas where the kids might be playing, your garage or something, you might bright white. So that you would pick on whatever you like to have there. Okay. Okay, another thing to help around your house is trimming the plants. We put plants in the ground where we think they look great, landscapers do, or we do sometimes, but then they grow up. And now they're too close to the house, they're touching it. Nowadays with the house, when the plants touch the houses, and if there's vinyl siding, it's constantly the wind rubbing against it and doing it. It also gives more space for insects to hide from the bright sun and the moisture trapped there. So if you cut your plants back so they're not touching your house, and in particular, look for the ones on the roof, a tall tree with branches on the roof. Asphalt shingles have granulars in there, sand and all that to keep from cracks going across it and for other reasons to hold it. If you keep brushing them and going over them, they slowly wear out and fail. So you don't want your roof to fail any earlier than it does. So the best way is to be sure no branches or anything are touching on the house. Actually do a survey, walking around, checking edges, going around. You want to inspect the outside also for proper drainage, dry rot, and water damage, including roofs and gutters, like I just mentioned. So as you're going around, look at the bottom to be sure water is draining away from your house. Where you're in areas where they have basements, the gutters are there to keep water from flowing down the outside of your house or on the outside of your house and getting into the basement. Gutters need to be clean because if you're there with snow area, that would freeze up and water and ice would slowly get up under your shingles. So you want to be sure the gutters are clean and any dry rot you spot, you fix it going around your house. Okay, after you've done the outside, well, even before you finish the outside, here's a great tool, an infrared thermometer. You can aim it. It puts out a red light just to give you the location. It takes the temperature of the surface you're pointing at. It does not check air temperature. So when you're checking for heating and cooling leaks on your house, and you got the house inside cool, let's say the outside warm, you go around the windows or edges, the metal, up close, and take readings. Where you see a difference, that's where you need to do improvement. Okay. Now on the inside, we're going to inspect cooling and heating leaks, caulk and seal windows and doors as needed. Again, this is the tool. If you're in a cold weather climate especially, get the metal frames. You know where your window frames may be leaking around there. You could caulk and seal it. You could put polyurethane, the wrap, clear wrap on the outside, or see your local hardware. They'll have some stuff. But you'll know you're not wasting money where you don't need it. You're putting improvement where you do need it. Next thing is install a Wi-Fi thermostat. It's very easy to change out the thermostat. They come with wonderful directions. You only need a screwdriver. You put one on there that sends a Wi-Fi signal to your phone. I could change the temperature in my house when I'm on a road trip before I get there. I could program it. I could see how it's doing. So I know if I have a problem or something was left on. Very inexpensive at a hardware Wi-Fi thermostat. Good way. And next, dryer vent clean out. Your dryer with all the lint goes through an exhaust, and typically it may go up and do a lot of turns and elbows to get out. The more corners it has, the more the lint blocks up. Once the lint fills up or clogs your dryer, all of a sudden your dryer isn't drying. The temperature, your clothes aren't getting dry. You're like, what's going on? It's not moving that moist air out of the house. Now in a development, different models' houses run it differently up and out. You could clean the dryer vent out, but here's the thing. To do it, you have to move the dryer out from the wall. So this might not be perfect for a senior to do. I'm getting to the point where I'm having some efforts walking it out. Unclamp the back, and they actually have round brushes. Looks like a chimney pipe sweep. You could hook to a drill or just use your hand and put it in there and pull it out. Or call and have someone do it. It's also a safety risk for dryer vents to get clogged, especially if you have a gas heated dryer. And I know my parents had 3 laundromats at one time. Okay, the next thing, we have the install thermostats, the dryer vent clean out, install LED accent lighting. What I mean like that, if you have dark areas in your house to improve it, and walking around hallways or whatever like that, they have LED lighting that you just plug into an outlet. It sits there nice and flat and will light the walkway if that's your outlet in your hallway. Where you want to highlight in bathrooms, get up in the middle of the night, like I do, don't want to disturb the wife. I go on in, and as I open the door slightly, the light there comes on. It's driven by someone coming in, any motion, and it turns on, it turns off afterwards. That's what I have for you today on that. Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you check out our Get Set Up classes and other videos. We really appreciate it. Thank you.